Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here. Welcome back to the library. Did I just find my favorite chapter ever? Chapter 10. Oh my God. It's so good. You know, up to this point, we haven't really known Catherine other than the woman who was left, the woman crying behind the door, right? I think she is my favorite character in the book now, even more than Perdue possibly. I have fallen in love with her. I love this chapter, how, French food and cuisine, that is Paris, and they capture it. It's like I can smell it cooking, and just the banter between them. And I knew what was coming, and sure enough, it did. So we do a word every day. Our French word today is the, which is la or le. There's a masculine or a feminine. I have no idea when you would use the masculine or the feminine. Remember yesterday our words were where is, où est, but then do you say, if you're saying where is, où est, the bookstore, is it la or le? Is it bookstore masculine or feminine? I don't know, but I bet one of you guys do. Go to the comments, let me know. Oh, I love this chapter. You can tell I'm excited. I can't even sit down. I'm getting up out of my seat. So let me just start this off with this beautiful writing. Catherine had inspected his red mullets, the fresh herbs and the cream from broad-beamed Normandy cows, then held up her small new potatoes and cheese and gestured to the fragrant pears and the wine. She says, I've really been looking forward to this all day and dreading it a little bit. How about you? And Perdue, he's all absolutely the opposite. I've been dreading this all day and just a little bit looking forward to it. It says soon the window panes had misted up. The glass flames were hissing under the pots and pans. The white wine, shallot, and cream sauce was simmering in a heavy pan. The olive oil was browning. The potatoes sprinkled with rosemary and salt. Oh, I can taste it, my friends. Beautiful. They were chatting away as if they had known each other for years and had simply lost touch for a while. It seemed to Perdue as though Catherine and he were discovering a communion of souls. I love it. They're just carrying on like old friends over food. There's just this natural bond. And I love it when that takes place like that. It's not forced. It's like coming home. He continued working on the sauce, and Catherine poached one piece of fish after another in it, and they ate straight from the pans where they stood, as she did not have a second chair. I love that. That's my personality. Just cook it and just eat it right off the stove. I love Catherine. And then this is beautiful. It says, all the thoughts that usually pursued him could not accompany him into her territory, some kind of magic threshold that kept them at bay. So he is always haunted, right? For 20 years, he's been haunted and tortured. But for some reason, in her little magic space, those bad thoughts couldn't enter. That's beautiful. So Perdue asked her, how are you spending your time at the moment? And she goes on to tell Perdue how she's trying to rediscover herself, being separated from her husband because her identity was her husband. Now she's trying to remember, who am I? What are the things I do and enjoy and like? You know, it got me thinking of, do you remember in Night Circus? One of the quotes I have highlighted was when Celia was talking about how people have names that they can put on and off like a hat. Right? Sometimes we have names, it's our occupation. But what happens when you retire? Who are you? Is your whole identity wrapped up in your occupation? Or if you're married and you get divorced? You know, there's a true name inside of us. We need to find that when we stand bare and naked, that we stand strong and knowing who we are. Let's see. The bookseller read Catherine like a novel. She let him leaf through her and look through her story. That's beautiful and kind of sexy too at the same time. I love that. She says, I always wanted to be noticed by the biggest egotist. I wanted my moronic husband to notice me, and I took no account of anyone else, but I'm ready to change that. Would you pass me the pepper? It cracked me up. She's ready to make this huge, life-changing, decision in her life. And oh, by the way, pass me the pepper. And isn't that true? For some reason, we feel this desire to please the people that are rude to us, that don't deserve it. And then the people that are kind and loving and there for us, we just kind of push them away. It's like, oh, we already got their love and attention. I want this person to notice me. Why? What is that in us, my friends? And she's saying, I need to change that. Pass the pepper, please. That's how we all need to change that, I think. She says, I'm learning everything from scratch. If we could all just get to that place, just start with a blank slate. If we could just forget all the crap that we have learned that doesn't work for us in this life and just start from scratch, a blank slate, I think that would probably benefit us all. Now I'm really falling in love with Catherine. If there wasn't so much already, we're just scratching the surface of Catherine's greatness. She talks about her marriage. She says, I was always faithful. That to me, for me, if you've been on this channel any amount of time, loyalty, faithfulness, that's my jam. She was always faithful. Oh, what else stuck out to me? So now she asked Perdue, what's been up with you? So he starts to describe to her the literary apothecary. He says it's a long boat with a low-slung belly, a galley, 2 sleeping berths, a bathroom, and 8,000 books. It's a world apart from our world. It's an arrested adventure like many moored ships. And I thought about that. I used to be a boat captain, and there was a saying, boats are safe in the harbor, but that's not what they were built for. And I think that's what he was kind of alluding to. And then, oh my gosh, guys, I love this. Perdue asked Catherine, what did you want to be when you were a little girl? Oh, I wanted to be a librarian and a pirate. Perdue, you better marry this girl or I will. Oh my God. He says, or she says, your book barge would have been exactly what I needed. I would have solved all the world's mysteries through reading. And I love this kind of imagination she has. She says at night, I would have stolen back from evil people everything they had tricked the good ones out of with their lies, leaving a single book that would have cleansed them and forced them to repent, turn into good people, and so on. Of course, she broke into laughter. Of course, he fell in with her ironic tone. That was the only tragic thing about books. They changed people. I love this kind of banter. He says, it changes all except for, well, what, Tinkum? Tinkum came in to say hi. I'm in a very exciting part of this book. Do you want to come up here with Daddy? Can I finish? Okay, she's just looking at me. She wants me to go play. Okay, I'm almost done. We're almost done with the greatest chapter ever. Of course he fell in with her ironic tone. That was the only tragic thing about books. They changed people, all except the truly evil, who did not become better fathers, nicer husbands, more loving friends. They remained tyrants, continued to torment their employees, children, dogs. Oh, I know that's horrible. Spiteful in petty matters and cowardly in important ones. They rejoiced in their victims' shame. Catherine says, books were my friends. And she cooled her cheek, which was red from the heat of cooking, on her wine glass. I think I learned all of my feelings from books. In them I loved and laughed and found out more than in my whole non-read life. Me too, murmured Perdue. And they looked at each other. And it simply clicked. I told you I could see this coming a mile away. 2 small boats on a sea, both thinking they'd been drifting alone since they'd lost their anchors. But now, love, my friends. I will see you tomorrow for chapter 11. I got a little Shih Tzu Yorkie here that wants to go play with her squeaky toy. I love you.